Yeah, what happened?
So I was just out delivering food. I was out off 164th. I think 18th and 164th. Or 162nd, I guess it
Doing
is.
the Postmates thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was on DoorDash on that point anyway, but it doesn't really matter. I was picking up food.
Tomato.
Yeah. I was picking up food. I was walking it back to my car, and this is like, it's a nice, like, overall well-maintained, like, complex, you know? Like, you know which complex I'm talking about? Like, it's right by Evergreen High School, like the same road Evergreen High School's on, except it's on 162nd.
I think so.
So there's like there used to be like a Cold Stone in there, and there's like a bunch of different like restaurants and.
Okay.
Anyway, McMinimans is in there, I believe.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. I miss Cold Stone.
Yes. Anyway, so I'm going around this pillar that like holds up the eave or whatever, but there's a hole behind the pillar that I didn't see or notice. But it's just out of nowhere. There's no thing blocking it off. There's no, like, hey.
A hole in the concrete?
Yeah, like in the sidewalk.
Okay.
Like, not, like, off the sidewalk. Like, right in the middle of the sidewalk. And I go around the...
Like an alien spaceship must have landed, and they picked up the spaceship but didn't fill the hole?
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I thought when I was falling and about to break my ankle in half. With food in my hand.
I'm tracking with you.
So yeah, I stepped and it just didn't. I was like marking off I was picking like because there's a lot of little things you have to do on the app. Like you have to mark all the items that you picked up and mark that's picked up and then mark it to go to deliver. Like there's a bunch of steps.
You were following your routine.
Yeah, and I was looking at that and I'm like walking on what I thought was a well-maintained sidewalk, and no, there's a giant fucking hole in the ground, and like I'm like like my ankle bends, and I'm like trying to save the food because I know that they wouldn't have remade it. I probably would have had to pay for it to have it remade. I haven't had that happen yet, thank God. Like where like I've had to like actually, I think I've had to actually. I have another story that's related to that too.
Segue.
Yeah, segue off that.
You're setting up your segues.
So I maintained I was able to not break my ankle. It's definitely swollen and in a bit of pain now, but yeah, it was kind of shitty, and I took the food, but the segue, like it was about, I think it was early this year, like September-ish, I think, or maybe October. I went. And this one was completely my fault, and so it cost me money. Actually, I kind of broke even on it because the guy felt bad for me and tipped me really well. But so I went down and picked up his food from this place this food cart in downtown Portland, and I bring it up to him.
There's a food cart I really miss downtown Portland, but sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
There's a lot of them that I miss, actually.
There's only one that I miss.
It took me like 30 minutes to drive it to this guy's house because it was like rush hour traffic. And it was like, he lived in North Portland, and like I had to go downtown, and it was bad traffic that day. So there was not really a quick way. Even the side roads were all backed up. So I get there, and he looks at it, and he's like, "Is there another one?" And then I thought because so Postmates and DoorDash and all these apps, they're always updating their apps. So sometimes when they update stuff, the UI changes a little bit. And you don't, like, you're used to seeing certain things written out in a certain way, so you know when you have multiples or stuff like that. Well, recently the UI had changed, and I missed that there was actually two of the same item. But I only saw it as one item. And so, like, he was like, I looked at the phone because I was like, "Well, no, and then I looked at the phone to double check, and I'm like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I totally screwed up." And so I was like, "All right, I'll go back and get it." Well, Postmates, I didn't want it to go against my thing on Postmates, nor I don't know what they would do anyway. So I went down there, bought his food out with my own money, the rest of his food, and brought the rest of it back. So it was this big long thing. He ended up tipping me extra. I basically roughly broke even. I may have made $1 or lost $1 or something, but Yeah, it was a giant waste of my time. It was my own fault. So, but yeah, it happens sometimes. Yeah.
So, I know that you did say that you were going to be limping and stuff profusely. How you feeling? You seem like you were walking okay.
Yeah,
Actually, I really can't say that because when I came downstairs, you were sitting right there. I haven't seen you get up yet.
I mean, I'm walking okay. Like,
okay.
It depends. Like, I'm sure I'll be limping more this evening. Like, the more like if I go work today, I'll be getting out of the car, climbing stairs. Last night, Murphy had it in for me though. Like right after that happened, every order that I had the rest of the evening was on the third flight of an apartment building. Like every single one. Wow. I had like 7 orders after that point.
Fuck you, Murphy.
Every single one was on the 3rd floor of an apartment building. There isn't even that many 3-story apartment complexes in Vancouver. I went to all of them, and they were all on the 3rd story. So,
how often do you get there and you just look at the person and realize they ordered it because they're just too fucking lazy to climb up and down 3 flights of stairs?
Lots of them.
I bet.
I mean, most of them are too lazy, or
if you're not willing to climb up and down 3 flights of stairs to go get something to eat, stop eating.
Well, one of them I knew they didn't want to go get because it was too much food to carry. So I was stuck carrying. Like, I went to Wendy's, spent $170 on Wendy's.
How many fucking people?
I mean, I saw like 3 in the where they opened. This is in a small ass apartment too, like a ghetto apartment.
Were they stoned? Did you smell like a strong? Did a strong odor of marijuana smack you in the face when you got there?
I was at the one in Hazeldale across from like Winco there on like, so you know, like Highway
I know
99?
what apartments you're talking about.
Yeah,
there's only one 3-story apartment complex over there. Yeah,
so that was that one. I mean, there's always weed smell there.
Yeah,
I mean that's just like, I think they have a weed farm
Goes
in
with
the
the
middle of the building.
they have a rec area that
that's just for weed.
Share bong hands.
And all the kids go in there and they pick the leaves or whatever you do with weed. I don't know how that works, but
okay.
No, that's why I go sell ice cream there, because they're all stoned and they want to buy ice cream.
That makes sense.
I sell lots of ice cream there usually.
That makes sense.
No, it was just a lot of freaking. I was able to take all that food up in 2 trips, so it wasn't too bad. There was like 20 drinks in total.
Wow.
So I was able to pack like 5 per carrier. So I had like 2 carriers in my hands, plus like a whole bunch of bags, like just like laid over one arm. And I'm like,
who the shit wants that much Wendy's?
That's not even the biggest Wendy's order I've gotten. I've had a Wendy's order close to $500 in Portland before.
That went to just a residence?
Went to a bunch of teenagers. It was weird because like it was like 15 teenagers came out and met me and they actually helped carry. I didn't have to take it into their thing, which was cool. I was like, sweet, I don't have to carry this anywhere. They just showed up to my car as I pulled up, and they just like, I just started handing them stuff, and they're like, yeah, they were super excited. I got tipped like $35 on that one. That one was cool.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
I used to like Wendy's. I don't like really any fast food anymore.
I have to like vary up my fast food. It has to.
Yes.
It can't like have regularly the same thing all the time. Otherwise, you just.
Yeah, there's none that's good enough anymore to eat on a regular basis. You definitely have to rotate your garbage.
I was gonna say the same thing.
If you don't rotate your garbage, it gets real stale and funky real quick.